Let's talk YouTube SEO for realtors. The big three questions I'm getting from all my coaching clients is, hey, will it make me money? Right? If I do YouTube videos, will it make me money? Number two, how long will it take? And then number three, what are the different types of videos that I need to do to be able to pull this off? So let's chip away at these three things. I've been talking to a bunch of my coaching clients over the last couple of months about this thing. And here's where it all started. For those of you that have been paying attention, right? I got into SEO and I was really into online marketing conversion. And then a mentor said, you should check out YouTube SEO. And I was like, what is that? So that was last year. And I went, wait a minute, this is so interesting, right? And so I got into it and I found there's some great early adopters in the real estate space, realtors who took on YouTube and created results, but there wasn't a lot. It was still very kind of esoteric. So I dug in deeper and I was like, hey, I think that this YouTube SEO for realtors would absolutely work, and I think it would work powerfully. I didn't have a lot of evidence for it. So I did like Malcolm Lawson's training. I looked at what Karen Carr was doing. And I was like, wow, this is super interesting. These guys are doing a great job with teaching it and explaining it. So I dug in. Okay, now fast forward many months later. Big shout out to my coaching clients, Cameron and Shayna Fleming down in South Carolina. Jumped on the YouTube, created a bunch of videos, and then as of this recording, 3 in escrow. That's good. One of my longtime coaching clients who's been on YouTube for a long time, who never really created any sales. We made some adjustments with his videos and brought in a call to action, and he is creating a ton of leads. Okay. One of my buddies, shout out to Ryan Schramm in San Clemente, right? He's in my top agent mastermind group, and they're all very skeptical that YouTube would ever create a sale. Rightfully so. He took some action. He followed some of the kind of SEO strategy. And at first he was like, yeah, it was kind of good. And then just the other day, he was like, hey guys, I've created 10 leads in a month from my YouTube channel, and these leads are getting good. So my Tom Ferry coach, Mr. Fred Doliak, who is a long time online guy, and he said, hey, here's this channel you need to check out. It created $1 million in gross commissions last year. So do we need any more evidence that this works? Okay, I don't. So let's dig into the how to do it. Okay, so step number one is really, what is YouTube SEO? And then what are the different types of videos that we should be doing here? And then I'll kind of talk to you about how long and kind of what some of the titles should be. Let's take a look at that. So let's talk about this kind of, what type of videos are there out there? So there's 3 types of videos. So number one is straight SEO video. What does that mean? That means when I did some research, check this out. So I was like, all right, well, the relocation buyer into San Diego right now is going to spend somewhere around 1 million to about 1.5. And I was getting these pay-per-click leads, and they were moving to San Diego, and these guys were spending a lot of money. So I started to realize, wait a minute, the relocation buyer. And then I was like, well, what do they search? How do they search? What do they type into Google? Could I figure it out? So I paid a lot of money for an SEO Research tool, and I saw moving to San Diego. Moving to San Diego, and there was 1,500 people a month searching that phrase into Google. And that's why I was like, oh my gosh. The keywords really was moving to. My ideal customer, called the relocation buyer, types in moving to. So that is an example of what SEO research is. The game is very clear today. So it's moving to, living in, cost of living, this neighborhood versus that, this neighborhood versus that, what is this loan type? It's all the basic how to buy a house, the 5 steps you need to know before buying a house. These are basic SEO phrases that we just need to have structured onto your YouTube channel so that Google and YouTube can go, oh, look at this channel right here. There's all of this very, very clear content for people who are moving to buying a house in and who want to learn more about these different communities regarding real estate. You've got all of that content there structured in the right way, okay, in a simple way. That's very, very key, okay? So here's another example of how SEO would work with your titles, okay? Tonight, if I typed into one of the top neighborhoods in your community, and I typed into Google, Zillow, top neighborhood, right? Indicating to Google, I'm doing a real estate research. Then the following night, I went into Google, Zillow, in a different neighborhood in your community. And then I went and I looked online, and you had a video that said the pros and cons of living in this neighborhood versus that neighborhood. And so Google and YouTube go, oh, look, this content is 100% relevant to this person who's searching. And then that night, that person is scrolling on their YouTube channel on their phone, and lo and behold, there's your video about the pros and cons of neighborhood X and Y. Do you think there's a good chance that that person is going to watch that video when they were just searching it? The answer is yes. Welcome to what YouTube SEO is all about. Okay, so now let's go to video type number 2, which this is the one where most of you, right, need to get some headway done. And it's really just answering the most common questions that your ideal customer has today about buying and selling. Here's what I keep telling my coaching clients. I said, look, you keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again with the buyers that you're working with. Would you please just go turn on a video and answer the question and tell everybody in the world exactly what you've told the last 40 buyers who've asked you the same question? Now that video content is really very useful for you today, because what it does is it saves you time. Why do you think I'm doing this video right here? I don't have to, once I complete this video, I don't have to explain this stuff to my coaching clients anymore. I can just tell them to go watch the video, giving me more time back to work with them on their business. Right? So for you, with your buyers and your sellers, the video type number 2 is just all of those things that you constantly are saying over and over and over and over and over and over again. Big shout out to Marcus Sheridan, who wrote the book, They Ask, You Answer, which was the book that helped me to understand exactly how to do this thing and why it's so valuable. Okay? Video type number 3. This is where most of you think that we need to do a lot of videos. And this is what Marcus Lawson, who is, I think, one of the most brilliant YouTube trainers for real estate agents out there. Get into his training program. I'll put a link to his training program down below. He did give me a discount because I clearly promote it a lot to share with you guys. But I highly recommend it. If you're really committed, you should do that training program, period, end of story. Now, what he told me is that there's a video type called discoverability. And the discoverable videos are the ones that get a lot of views because they're just around hot topics, things to do. Big shout out to my boys up in Santa Barbara, Avi and Joe. They did a killer video on like the top 10 beaches in Santa Barbara, and it was great. That is a discoverable content. It's a video that'll get 30,000 views. It may never produce a client, but it'll get a lot of views. So If we're looking at the balance, okay, so now let's talk final thing, right? So we got the three types, the SEO ones, we've got the kind of client question ones, and then we've got the discoverability videos, right? So now you're thinking, all right, Patrick, well, what's the priority? If you're one of my coaching clients, we've been talking a lot about how to prioritize. There's too many good ideas, too many projects. We need to prioritize everything and chip away at it. So here we go. Let's jump into this. If we're going to talk priorities, and also this kind of answers that final question is how long would it take? Okay, so let's put those two together here. So is your priority these discoverable videos with billions of views, no clients? No. Okay. Do them, sure. Okay. What I like is the SEO, cost of living, living in, what to know before moving to, pros and cons of this neighborhood versus that. You know, if you were to use a VA loan, how much could you buy? How to buy a house in city and state. What to do before you sell your home. How to sell your home fast and for more money. The SEO videos are where the money is first. So if you want to prioritize getting client acquisition from YouTube, then you need to be all in on the SEO video titles. Now, for some of you, you actually have a lot of business right now. You're working with a lot of clients, right? If you're newer and you don't have a lot of clients, get these SEO videos done as fast as you can. For some of my clients who are very successful, you already have a lot of clients. You're almost a little overwhelmed. When I call you up on your coaching call, we do a video call, you're like, I'm just so busy, I'm overwhelmed. Then I need you guys to do the they ask you answer client videos, right? Because I need to get you some time back, but I need you to learn how to do more video content. I need you to learn how to give a better presentation. I need you to learn the logistics of video and putting it up into YouTube and how to do this and all the details that come along with doing this on a regular basis. But I want to give you time back with the project. So for my really busy coaching clients out there, or my successful coaching clients, just start chipping away. You know, what are the 5 most important things that everybody needs to know when they go under contract with you, that you keep explaining over and over and over and over again, that if you just shot the video, you can share it? What are the 5 most important things that every home seller should be prepared for when they meet with you to list their property? What are the 5 most important questions that every home seller asks you before they list their home with you and put your home on the market, that you just repetitively go over and over and over and over again? What are the biggest kind of market and housing market questions that buyers have today that you keep just saying over and over and over? What are the most important questions you hear from sellers when they're just thinking about selling, that just over and over and over? These are the ones that give you some time back and will help you get more clients under contract. That's very valuable. And then last thing, priority is once you get all your video logistics dialed in, you've actually made money from your YouTube channel. You've made money from this endeavor called video. Now you can go reinvest some of that money and do some really cool, discoverable videos. Okay, that should be fun. So there's the priority. Now let's answer the question, how long does it take? Well, that's a really great question, because I know with, when I watch kind of Ryan Schramm, he had some YouTube videos there that did nothing, created no income, had no views. He started optimizing with some SEO principles, started looking at titling, started doing a better job with his description, started doing a better job with his thumbnails, started optimizing for some of the keywords. I think it probably took him about 3 or 4 months before kind of lead flow started kicking in, because he had an established channel with content, an established brand. 3, 4 months, maybe 5 months, I don't know. Okay. Now for my My agents who basically started YouTube from nothing with me, it took them about 6 months, and they got a lot of videos done, and that's when they got the 3 under contract. That makes a lot of sense to me, right? It's about a 6-month run in which then those videos started producing a client, an appointment, and a contract. So it goes back to that line that Tom says, the purpose of marketing is to what? Book appointments. So we're not doing YouTube videos just for you to become a celebrity. We're doing YouTube videos for you to create clients, to get some time back, and then ultimately to grow your brand, to establish this as an asset for you that gives you client acquisition forever. What a great skill set for you to learn how to deliver video and to figure out the logistics and to learn a little bit about SEO. Those are some skill sets that I think have long-term value for you. Let me know if you need any help. If you haven't, jump into that Malcolm Lawson training. Okay, he also does a channel consultation too. Shout out to Zach Nelson. I just had him do a consultation, right? My great client Danny Gould up in Silicon Valley. I said, you need to do a consultation with Malcolm because there's some technical logistics for these kind of bigger channels. They need a little bit a higher level than what I have to offer. For all of you that are just getting started and getting in the game, this is where you begin. All right, hope this was helpful. Let me know how I can help you.